was all about the fight since I was a little bitty man.
With a father determined to make a champion.
Champions are truly measured by their tolerance, what they can take, you know what I mean? I laid it on pretty thick.
He would get down his knees and we box. Sometimes he beat me, sometimes he let me win.
Roy Jones of Pensacola, Florida. Well, if he doesn't win the gold off this, then I think there's something rotten in Korea.
He rose to fame after an Olympic fiasco.
The Korean knew he had lost the fight. He didn't want to raise his hand.
It was the worst decision in the history of amateur boxing.
Roy Jones stunned.
He turned pro, only to disappear in a power struggle with the father who trained him.
The relationship they had outside of father-son, which involved the boxer and the coach, I think that put a lot of strain on their personal relationship.
I had to get to be a man, and my father wasn't used to me being a man. My father was used to me being a kid.
We're jumping in here and down the floor. Let's get on the floor with you.
In a sport filled with powerful promoters and dominating personalities, Roy set out alone and made his own rules.
He has had the courage to stand up against powerful promoters who would exploit him.
He wanted to make certain that everyone gave him that respect as far as being an individual in control of his life.
He turned the game upside down.
I talk tonight.
And still won title after title after title.
When Roy gets in the ring, everything slows down. He sees it coming before the guy even throws it.
But critics complained he was all razzle and no rumble.
Some of Roy's fights look like sparring sessions. It's almost as though he's practicing his art.
Roy's a boxer. Roy's not a fighter.
One of the world's greatest boxers fighting to live his life on his own terms.
Somebody bout to face Roy Jones.
Nobody's going to be better than me. If they is, they'll kill me to prove.
This is Roy Jones Jr., Beyond the Glory. November 18th, 1994, Roy Jones Jr. steps into the ring with super middleweight champion James Toney. A fierce competitor, rated one of the best in the sport.
At the time, I beat everybody, Michael Nunn, Iran Barkley, Doug, all the name fighters out there, beat them handily.
In his 5 years as a pro, this was the biggest fight of Roy's career. His first as an underdog. Critics saw the match as a defining moment, the make-or-break event for Roy Jones Jr.
We don't know whether he's a superstar or a fraud.
Roy obliterated James Toney in the ring that night.
Oh! Big left hook, and down goes Toney!
He beat me. Man beat me fair and square, you know. I can't sit here and say, wow, because Roy beat me that night fair and square, and I just gave him his props.
Within 30 seconds, you could see the difference. Roy was so much faster. He could hit James at will and go away, and James would never find him. It was a mismatch.
The victory instantly put Roy among the top-ranked fighters in the world. And his father, the man who raised him to be a champion, wasn't there to hear Roy thank him for his efforts.
Oh, all my praise to God. Thank my father and Coach Merck both for the terrific training they've been doing throughout my entire career.
Father and son hadn't spoken in 3 years. The road to glory had broken them apart.
He didn't understand that I had to have more desire to win than he did for me. And I had to be my own man.
Roy Jr. thinks that Sr. may be one of the greatest boxing trainers in history. But they could not exist together professionally.
Roy Sr. grew up in the 1940s and 50s with the love of boxing and a family tradition built around fighting.
Well, I'm from a family of 13. My father always kept a pair of gloves around the house to kind of keep things squared away between me and my brothers.
As a young man, he went to Vietnam, earned a Bronze Star, and came home to still more fighting. He spent some hard years earning his living as a professional boxer.
My professional career was really a career of bare knuckles, and stuff like that, I just fight, don't matter.
But when Roy married Carol Lewis in 1968, he gave up the fights for a more stable life. He He hung his punching bags in the garage and would take his firstborn son, Roy Jr., along for his daily workouts.
He was my best friend. I was his best friend, and, you know, that's just the way it was. Everything I done, he done.
As his boy grew, he shared his love for the sport of boxing.
I used to get on my knees with him, you know, when he was a little kid. Let him swing, you know, and just kind of lift him around a little bit, you know, just father-son play, you know.